Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
How's it going, guys? And welcome to the Smack Raw Podcast NXT recap episode. My name is Vince. I'll be your host. And today I'm joined by my very good co-host, Aaron Real Petty from Mean Gene Jellybean's YouTube channel, and Jay Thunder, Chicago's very own indie wrestler. How's it going, guys?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's Mean Jellybean Productions, Vince. Come on, bro. Get it right.
Mean Jellybeans Productions. Come on, I thought I did have it right.
Nah, you put the jeans, bro. We ain't got no jeans on.
If you put some jeans on the jelly bean, it wouldn't be incorrect. How you doing, Jay?
You know what? I can't complain, man. I'm alive. I don't have corona, so you know what? Hey, I can't complain, bro.
Touche.
That's a very positive outlook, man. For those of you guys that may be new, we are a pro wrestling podcast. We do NXT and WWE recaps. We are going to be talking about NXT tonight, but before we do, go ahead and give this episode a download if you're watching it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you're consuming it on. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and smack that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and turn on the bell notifications and comment down below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's
slap
episode.
That boy, baby. Slap it.
Slap it. Exactly. So with that being said, let's get started on the show tonight, guys. So the big thing leading into tonight's show is we were supposed to have Velveteen Dream versus Finn Balor in a main event match, but the match never took place because Finn Balor arrived at the arena but was attacked and was mysteriously just gone. He vanished. Nobody knew what was going on. He was missing. First off, was this Killer Cross or was this the Imperium guys attacking Finn Balor?
I don't know. Like, there's so many options. I mean, who knows?
It was definitely weird. Like, what did it surprise you guys that they did this match and then last minute they just like canceled it?
Yeah, because it was out of the blue to begin with, them setting it up and then canceled it the next when it was supposed to happen. So, I mean, but you know how they are. They'll figure some way to spin it or whatever, and we'll probably revisit this a couple months from now.
I mean, personally, Jay, I think that this might have been the initial plan. They might have just did this, get viewers, get people to get hyped up, and then once the episode airs, you pivot to something else, like a classic bait and switch situation. I don't think they really had any plans on having the match itself. And there was more or less just a tease this as a possible NXT title feud down the line if Dream does pick up the title. Jay, do you agree with that statement or am I off base?
I think you got it right on the mark. I mean, like I said, I was still expecting to see that match between Dream and Finn Balor. But I mean, you know, with everything that happened earlier in the show, in the beginning of the show, like who knows, man? Like it's up for discussion. But I think you got a good idea of what, you know, what's going on.
Not bad. So after that whole scenario, Velveteen Dream does come out mocking Finn Balor because when we come back to the ring, he's doing his standard Finn Balor poses. He's got like a leather jacket, and he talks about reaching new levels, facing off against new devils, new levels, new demons. He says this about like 2 or 3 times, and he says new devils, same demons, alluding, you know, just making like little jabs at Finn Balor. And I like that he's been really attacking Finn Balor on social media. I like it, man. Just do that because that's all about like the shoot style that Prince Devitt had when he was over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Right. So I'm all with it. But he doesn't get too far in his promo because Adam Cole does interrupt him. He accuses him of him being the one to attack Finn Balor to weasel his way into the title picture because it was implied that the winner of this match would be next in line to challenge for Adam Cole's title. And I don't know, like it didn't make too much sense to me. It was kind of like weird to just have Adam Cole just come in. I feel like this might have been an audible. Like maybe just Finn just couldn't make it to tapings because of the whole situation going on. But nonetheless, this is what we had. And if I'm not mistaken, like he starts to distract Velveteen Dream, and that's when Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish come in to jump Velveteen Dream from behind. It's the three of them attacking them. And I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of getting sick of Velveteen Dream just getting jumped. And by the Undisputed Era, it's just getting old to me. But he had some health. Keith Lee came out to make the save, and the match is set for later on in the main event. Keith Lee and Velveteen Dream taking on the Undisputed Era. What you guys make of the segment overall?
It was a standard Undisputed Era segment. I mean, it kind of was what it was. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Mm-hmm. And me personally, I'm down with the jumping. Like, this is how he should use the Undisputed Era too, especially since they're so disjointed and they haven't really had many shows where they're all together as one. So he should be using them as henchmen to keep taking out his guys, whoever he's going against, especially Velveteen, being that he has the history with him. So I'm not mad at that, actually. And I'm just happy he's actually on a show and not poolside.
Yeah. This breaking news: Adam Cole is no longer at poolside. That shit was that's good. Jay, what you like about this segment, or any thoughts before we move on?
I definitely got to go with Iron on this one. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a standard, 4 horsemen, segment. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much, I'm the boss. I'm the big bad boss, and you know what? I'm gonna make sure that you can't make it to the next title defense.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much simple. I mean, like Aaron said, it's not good, but it's not bad. But it's good that he's using the Undisputed Era, especially with Kyle O'Reilly still being injured. Mm-hmm. So it's mediocre at best.
Yeah. I mean, it's standard stuff, I guess. So let's move on and talk about the very first actual match of the night. We had Shotzi Blackheart teaming up with Tegan Nox to take on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. RN, you reached out to me via the group chat, or was it Twitter? And you were saying that my girl Shotzi Blackheart, you're warming up to her, man.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
I can't lie. Like I said, she's still not my cup of tea yet. But just like I was just watching her and stuff, like I hate that fucking How. Like I just hate that. But besides
that, used to it, man. You'll get used to it, man.
Just like her moveset, she kind of reminds me of like a Mick Foley, Jeff Hardy kind of hybrid. Like the shit's ugly, but it still looks cool even when she does it. Like when she did that like kind of senton cannonball thing, like the shit's like but it looks effective. So like she's definitely starting to grow on me. I can't admit that for sure.
So you like the fact that she's kind of like unorthodox.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Vince. I picked her to go into the ladder match because I'm like, you need somebody like that if you're gonna have a multi-person ladder match. You need that person that's unpredictable and that'll do some shit like that, like do the cannonball into a ladder and stuff like that. Like that part of her, I hate the tank shit and the How. But her actual in-ring work and everything, like she's definitely starting to grow on me for sure.
I mean, Jay, I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think we both agree here that we love the tank and we love the How, and we love her like talking about like welcome to the ball pit, or like she's the ballsy badass. Like
I mean, that's only because of the fact that like we've seen Shotzi.
Yeah, so we're biased.
So we're kind of biased, but that doesn't.
I like
mean
the
that,
ball stuff though and all that. Like I dig all that. Like, and I think that she has potential on the mic if they ever give her enough time to actually do something. Like I said, she's definitely growing on me. The Howl in the tank, but everything else, like especially her in-ring work, like I like that little bit of unpredictability.
It's unique, however. Not you don't see anyone coming up to the tank unless you're Rusev at WrestleMania 31. Right. You know, no one else comes out to a tank.
If my nephew didn't have that tank, that's the only down. Like I know my nephew for sure has that tank.
Maybe. But in the end, this was a victory. Like overall, it was a standard tag match. Heels taking on the baby faces that was set up like last week. Obviously, it made sense. It was Raquel Gonzalez that picked up the victory for her team of Dakota Kai. She reversed some kind of springboard attack by Shotzi.
It kind of looked like Rhea Ripley's finishing move, to be honest.
Yeah, so she kind of just like reversed it almost into like a one-handed choke slam, but it kind of looked
like a one-handed power bomb.
Yeah, it was like Rhea Ripley, it was like the Riptide or whatever.
Yeah, very similar to that. And honestly, I think this might have been the right situation here, the right one that should have won here, because you still want to build up Raquel Gonzalez as a credible threat. What's the point of her pairing her up with Dakota Kai if she's not a threat and then just anybody can beat her? And honestly, like I love Shotzi, but she's still relatively new to NXT, and she can take a couple L's. She's gonna make her rise, and then you can build her up, dude. She's she's just gonna get the fans behind her, and
You can
that's
clearly
how
see
she's
that
gonna
that's-
she'll probably win a Mae Young Classic. She probably will.
I don't know about winning one, but I could see her getting to like a Final Four if they do a Mae Young Classic again.
My thing is, this is how they do all their stars, or the people that they have
Mhm.
high hopes for. They not backburn them, but they have them just in like smaller, give them a couple wins here and there, then pair them up with somebody that's a little bit ahead of them. Like you can definitely see that they see what we see, and that they have plans for her down the line.
Yeah, for
Like you
Yeah,
sure.
said,
she's got
just
definite
new.
potential.
Yeah, she's just new. She just got there. What is this? Maybe like her 4th or 5th match, if that.
Yeah, I mean, if you count the gauntlet match, she had like what 3 matches within
Yeah.
the one. But Jay, you were saying that like we're biased towards Shotzi Blackheart because we've seen her wrestle live. Another person that I'm personally biased towards is Jake Atlas. I've met the guy. I've seen him wrestle here in
Damn,
Chicago, and he was taking on against a guy, Drake Maverick, who just recently got laid off because of the whole Rona situation.
Man,
And
I
it
think
was
that's just a work.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's a work. I think this is WWE using the fact that blew up into storyline. And I still don't believe that Drake is going to be back with the company. I don't think it's a work. It's just a lose-lose situation because it's like you want to root for Jake Atlas, a guy who is trying to break barriers by being one of the openly gay wrestler in WWE that isn't Sonya Deville. And then you also have, like Drake Maverick, a guy who just lost his job and never really had an opportunity to wrestle. And he's out here giving it his all. Overall, it was kind of hard to root for either or, but I did have Jake Atlas picking up the win. And, man, look, out of this terrible situation, this was a great matchup, I think. They complemented each other well, and the finish was phenomenal. That was a very unique cartwheel DDT.
Yeah, that DDT, I actually wrote that down in my notes. I was like, that was a dope-ass finish.
Yeah, that's something that you need when you're first coming into like a new promotion. You need something to stand out. If it isn't your look, your promo ability, it has to be in the ring. You have to have a very unique finish or arsenal, and Jake Atlas proved that tonight. And Drake Maverick, he brought it to him, and the story of the match was like, look, man, this is it. This is all there is for me. I'm giving you your all, and he took it to Jake Atlas.
Over under, how long you think it'll take before they slap some lipstick and eyeliner and shit on Jake Atlas?
See, you know what? If this was in the 90s or maybe even the early 2000s, I wouldn't doubt you that would be a thing that happens. But I think if you do that now, you get so much backlash, and like it just like it tanks your company.
Well, I mean, they let King say racist shit online all the time, so
you know what? Let's not talk
King's
about King.
King's a legend. That's different.
Nah.
I'm just saying that they always play up stereotypes, anything they can. Now that they have an actual openly gay wrestler on the roster, if he gets to the main roster, Vince is gonna be having him carrying around bags of dicks and shit and everything.
He's
God.
I mean, he's openly gay and stuff, but they commentary or like the video package didn't openly say that he was. There were like hints. There were hints that he was.
Bro, I'm not talking about NXT where they do subtle storytelling and actually let people get themselves over. I'm talking about when he goes up there with that old ass man that makes firemen and makes all the black people shuck and jive and dance and hip hop. He's gonna put some makeup on an openly gay wrestler.
I wouldn't surprise him to think. No, man. You know what? No, I'm gonna just be optimistic and say that doesn't happen. I think the future is bright for Jake Atlas. I really like the guy.
He's dope. I wish he did some more like high flying stuff, like him and Drake both. Like they're both awesome high flyers. I wish they did a little bit more of that, but overall, it was still a solid match.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that match was like extremely solid. You know,
it was more ground based than I expected it to be with both of them. High flyer.
Because they were both trying to prove something and fighting for something. You can't really go into a match like this with the idea that, we're going to do flips and all this other high-flying acrobatic stuff. Because here's the thing. It felt more like you're going into a fight. And if you're going into a fight, you don't really get to do much of that. You're not going to go in there, I'm like, I'm going to hit this like amazing acrobatic move on this guy. No, I'm going to like beat the crap out of him. I'm trying to win this match. And Drake Maverick, I think that like, again, like the direction that we're going with it was Drake Maverick being aggressive and like just clawing for dear life, basically. Yeah. But it was Jake Atlas to pick the win. Very unique cartwheel DDT. I love that. I think it was phenomenal.
That was dope.
It was great. And then after that, we had another first round match in the Cruiserweight tournament. We had Kushida taking on Tony Nese. And the big story that I saw here was Tony Nese trying to use his power and athleticism advantage over Kushida. However, he had the more experience, and obviously being in New Japan and being accustomed to being in long, grueling tournaments. This was a piece of cake for him. This was a walk in the park. Not saying taking anything away from Tony Nese, but Kushida knew how to get things done. He knows how to pace himself in tournaments, and he just felt like the veteran guy taking the young blood to school. Kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like when you go into the basketball court, like you go play a pickup game at like Export or at the park, and the older guys, they just are way more savvier, and they're able to get the younger athletic guys because they just know a couple tricks that they just aren't.
Man, quit sugarcoating this shit, bro. That's your guy. We know it. This was just another long list of L's for Tony Nese, who is one of the most talented people on the goddamn roster. And like, I didn't even have to look at this. I knew whoever Kushida was going up in the first round, he was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to make it to the finals, especially out of that group he's in, because he's literally in there with straight L takers, every single one of them. But like I said, I'm just going to get back on my Tony Nese thing. Like, I know it's Kushida. It is what it is. But can my man get a win sometime? Like, I cannot remember the last time that man's won a match.
I mean, no offense to Tony Nese, man, but like to me, he just feels like bland to me. I don't care for the guy's character. He doesn't seem intriguing. Like, you can put him in a match, yes, he can go, but we say that about everybody. Everybody can go in WWE or in pro wrestling in general right now. Like, he doesn't really strike me as like doing anything like to stand himself out from everybody else.
No, I totally agree. Like, in that, with the suit, his gear and all that shit, like, he needs to just like scrap all that and just, I don't even know. Like, at this point, it's like, because in the ring, like I said, he's got power, speed, agility. He can high fight. He can do any style you want. I mean, to me, he's better in the ring than Buddy Murphy, honestly. But Buddy has
debatable.
Buddy has more charisma. Now that's why Buddy's where he's at, and even though he's taking L's too, but
all right, but
put some tights on him.
Maybe he just needs something different.
He just needs some long tights. That's all he needs.
What he does need is he needs a breather. He needs a break, or like he needs an ice bag, because Kushida beat him with a top rope flip arm breaker thing.
Hoverboard
lock. There you go. I keep forgetting the name of his goddamn finisher, and I freaking love the guy. But he beats him with the hoverboard lock. Clean victory for Kushida. Right man wins here. Overall, like so far, I'm 2 for 2. It seemed very like straightforward who was going to win here.
Yeah.
Jay, overall, do you have a favorite in this tournament? I don't think we talked about that between like the four guys, like the four
Group
guys
A.
in. Yeah, I think it's Group A. Like Kushida, it's Kushida, Tony Nese, Maverick, and Jake Atlas. Do you have like a favorite in this that's going to advance?
For the most part, no. Actually, in Group A, no. I really don't have a favorite. I'm literally just enjoying the ride because I want to see what everybody can do.
Okay.
Like that's usually been like the thing. I've been trying to just like kind of like coast and see what everybody's gonna do. Like, I really believe that, I believe in some potential in Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Because that's how you got to pronounce it the right way. Gallagher. Because that's how they say it.
Go
ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say we'll talk more about Jack when we get to his match. But what was the final point?
No, but I was saying that like I believe that like it's just one of those things that like I believe that for the most part it's just watching Group A. Like Group B, that could be another story. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about what we had next. And it was Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae. They cut this amazing promo.
Fire.
Credit to whoever edited this, because what I loved about it is that it cut back and forth between the romantic dinner setting and like a Twilight Zone type of aesthetic feel to it.
And Candice changing her whole look. That's what I like to see. When you turn heel, change your shit. Don't wear the same gear. Don't have your hair the same if you're a woman. Change your shit up. And I did. It wasn't like a complete change, but the hair, the makeup, everything.
No, man. It was kind of a complete change.
Well, yeah, I guess it was.
She was a blonde, and she got silver hair now. That was
like silver purplish.
On top of that, she's got the dark, the dark look. Like with
that's what I said. The lipstick and everything. That's what I'm saying.
Did you guys peep how they were like eating, and they had like framed or displayed the cup that they used in their match?
Yeah,
peep
I
that?
noticed that. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was hilarious. Like, my God, they were so proud of that moment that they framed the fucking cup and they have it on their dinner table.
This is why I keep telling y'all Johnny Gargano is the man.
And
It
you know
does not
what?
matter what position you put him in.
You know what? I wasn't behind Johnny that much. I was like, I was more of a Ciampa guy. But now that I can see that Johnny is more versatile than Ciampa, like I said this on Twitter and I've said this on the show multiple times. Heel Johnny Gargano is better than babyface Tommaso Ciampa.
I will say this. Gargano makes kind of a point. Like,
heels that make great points.
No, I mean, like, he does. Like, sometimes heels don't make points. They just talk.
Random shit.
Random, but Gargano actually makes good points. Like, he's been the nicest guy on the roster. He's been trying his best to do what's right, and everyone pretty much stepped on him. Even Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah. We all know about the infamous turn at Takeover. So
even Candice, for that, the hottest line she had, I ate second, so y'all bitches can't eat first.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That shit was fire, bro.
Here's the thing. There was motivation. There was rightful motivation. It all made sense.
Perfect sense.
And I always say this, Jay, I say this. Kyle, I'm sure is tired of me saying this all the goddamn time, but a great heel, a great villain are those who believe that they're doing the right thing. In this whole promo, they still feel that they're the good guys in this story.
Yes.
And I believe it. I believe it.
I believe that they believe it. I believe that they believe it.
No, I completely believe it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, my thing is, this is why I'm glad and sad for Johnny to go, because I think that what he can do with the main roster up there, wherever you want him to be. If you want him to be the baby face, getting his ass kicked, chasing, and finally comes alive and gets that comeback at the end to win a title, he can do that for you. Mm-hmm. Or if you just want him to be the chicken shit heel, just doing crazy shit that you didn't think he could do or expect from him.
I think he could do both.
Like, that's what I'm saying. There is nothing that man can't do, and I'm glad that they're finally giving him a chance to show both sides of it and show his versatility. Because I told y'all from the beginning, that babyface Ciampa shit is garbage. Mm-hmm. The heel Gargano, next level shit.
So the final punctuating point that they cut in their promo is that they will rebuild NXT in their image.
Fire.
And they will be the first married couple to reign over NXT as NXT Women's Champion and NXT Champion. That was a strong punctuating point that they
let it happen. Make it happen.
I'm with it. I love my girl Io, and we're about to talk to her about her in a sec, but I feel like Candice would be the right person to take that title off of Charlotte.
Right. Oh, you know how much heat she would fucking get for that?
Fuck yes.
Nuclear heat.
Also, too, I don't know about you guys, but them together at like the two clean-cut baby faces that they've always been turned heel reminded me of Liu Kang and Kitana when they were ruling the Nether Realm after the
you're talking about when they become revenants now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like they're like in the old games, they're like the top male like good guys, and then they turn evil after the events of Mortal Kombat 9 and leading into Mortal Kombat 10, and it's just like, man, like that's the first thing that clicked to me. I'm like, they're Kitana and Liu Kang gone bad. Fucking love it. So someone else who actually went from a good guy to a bad guy, Io Shirai, they showed a little hype package for her. She was cutting the promo in Japanese, but they had the little subtitles on the bottom, which I love that NXT does this. They do that phenomenally. Yes, Jay?
I will say this. Did you guys notice that about the because I don't know if you, because I'm thinking, because you talked about the Kushida match. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like for both of them, like they've been kind of like, fluent in their NXT's been letting them, just fluently talk in their own language.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah. Correct. They did that with Kushida's promo as well, and they actually did that with Phantasma.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. So
they do that with just about everyone, and that's something that I'm always down for. Like, look, man, let these people cut their promo in their native language. You will get so much passion and more conviction in their words than forcing them to like do some promo in English.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. You're right. to us, people that really care about the wrestling business. But if there was a crowd there, it'd be some dumbass idiots there saying, what?
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that's the one downside to all of this, right? It's the fact that we have this situation with some fans. But in pre-tape situations, I think that's the perfect thing to do.
Yeah, if they're doing the promos like that where
pre-tape.
I understand, but we had this argument in the group chat about wrestlers from different countries speaking their language and stuff. Like, this country is Trump's America and the shit ain't gonna fly.
Mm-hmm. So the big basis of her promo that Io was getting at was that she's been waiting a long time to face Charlotte. This is someone that she's been wanting to face for a long time. And she iterated saying she doesn't bow down to anyone and that every queen needs her castle and she will be the one to destroy Charlotte's castle. I loved it. Very simple, straight to the point.
Io is so much doper as a heel. Like, just so much better.
She's so
much better.
First of all, she's so much eviler. And she's sexier. God
yes,
damn.
that throwing up the one shit and all that. Like, I'm number one, high flyer. So that shit was garbage.
And man,
Io Shirai is fire.
You know what they say. You know how like a lot of girls talk about how they love bad boys. Like, look, man, we love ourselves a good people that turns to the dark side, man. Yeah, we love us some bad girls. Hey, yeah, there we go. So let's move on to the next thing. We had Mia Yim taking on Jessie Kamea, and the first thing I thought was, Kamehameha. Did she train under Master Roshi's Turtle Hermit School? Is that where she got the name? It was a relatively quick win for Mia Yim. She went with what's the name of her finish? It was like the Eat Defeat, wasn't it? But she calls it
Protect your neck. Protect your neck.
Protect your neck. There.
It's a play on Wu-Tang. You gotta.
I know exactly what it is, and it's still ass.
RN has his opinions about it. That's fine. But the big point here was that leading up to this match, Charlotte wanted to have her first match in NXT back against Mia Yim because, that was her first match in NXT, period. And she does come out after the match. And she does want an answer to her challenge. And then Mia saying, I'm kind of honored that you want to face me as your first match. Yeah, I accept. But she throws like a backhanded compliment and saying that like you've always been a good hand, Mia, and like back in the day you put me on the top, put me on the map and made me a superstar. And next week I returned the favor. I'm like, motherfucking Charlotte out here throwing backhand comments.
That wasn't backhand. That was God's honest truth. She's ass, bro.
My God.
Damn, bro. Like, why you?
She looks
she
good.
Is not ass.
She is ass, bro. She has no personality. Her moves are decent in the ring, but ass, bro. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Why you hating on my girl Mia though, bro?
Man, you only like her because how she look, bro.
Hey, bro, chill out. Hey, that's not even what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the moves.
I don't even know what her voice sounds like, to be honest with you.
Keith
I literally
Lee
just
is a
tuned her
lucky
out.
man. Keith Lee is a lucky man, I tell you that.
All right, so next up, we have the final and third Cruiserweight match, first round match. We had Gentleman Jack Gallagher taking on Hijo del Fantasma. First off, man, is this the first time you've been able to see Jack Gallagher with his new tattoos? And if so, what do you guys think?
No, I've seen it a couple of times. Looks like some creative player shit from 2K, for real.
Yeah, man. I mean, your creative character has better tats than he does. So first thing I'm going to say about this, before we even talk about the match, is that I love what NXT was doing leading up to these matches, giving each wrestler a hype package, a video package, building them up, giving us their story and why they're fighting in this tournament and what it means to them. And that's something that I really, really appreciated and I dug. But the match itself, this one specifically, I wasn't digging it as much as I thought I would.
Hell no.
So for one, Jack Gallagher, this new version of him, it takes me a minute to warm up to. I had to get used to him being who he is now. And Hijo del Fantasma, especially with that video package they showed us last week, I thought he was going to be more of a darker, heelish kind of guy. But he came in.
But he came out like super face. He was like super baby face.
I was like, what?
Bro, he came out like generic luchador guy.
Yes,
and I'm over
he did.
Here, and like, look, man, you know me. I'm stupid biased when it comes to Mexican wrestlers. Like if you're Mexican or from Chicago, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have your back and I'm gonna be rooting for you and I'm gonna gas you the fuck up. But I wasn't feeling him as much as I thought I was, and I'm like, well, maybe he probably won't win this title, this tournament, or even get to the finals after all. Maybe it will be Swerve because this version of Phantasma might not be the person we thought we was. But we'll talk.
Bro.
We'll talk more about it. Throughout the match, Jack Gallagher does try to target the mask of Phantasma. You know, that's the standard luchador.
Standard heel stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's stuff you guys can both appreciate having.
This was for Gallagher. This was his type of match, and this is kind of pretty much what most of his matches are like.
Mm-hmm.
But I expected more from Phantasma, is what I'm saying. Like Gallagher, is like he's supposed to take you down. I mean, he's one of those like grinder, kind of like Drew Gulak.
Mm-hmm.
Him coming, hit that pimp cape he came to the ring with was fire as well. But you know what I'm saying? Like I just expected more from Phantasm. Like, did he like high fly maybe like twice the whole damn match?
Exactly. So. Phantasma does end up winning with a Samoan driver. I think that's a dope ass finish though. His finish is dope. That's pretty cool.
That's my finish.
Exactly. That's your finish in the video game. So
no, that's my actual finisher though. That's my actual finisher.
Hey man, great
I was so surprised when I saw. I was like, "What?"
Hey man, great minds think alike. And so here's the thing. I wrote it down on my notes. Hopefully this isn't Phantasma's final form because I feel like there's more to him than this generic luchador they gave us. And
this looked like more nerves than anything. Like he just wasn't like, I don't want to say ready, but I feel like with everything going on and everything, like how much time they kind of like fast tracked him.
No, I feel like okay, so here's my theory. My theory is this is all a ruse. This is who he wants us to think he really is. Kind of like Lex Luthor, where like he puts on this mask that he's this good guy and helps out the world, but in reality, he's one of the biggest villains in DC universe. I think so. Like, hold up. We'll talk about.
Go ahead, Vince. No, go ahead, Vince.
We're gonna lead into that. So they go into the parking lot again. I can't stress this enough. If you work in NXT, do not go to that parking lot late at night. You don't get jumped. So the masked lucha mafia tries to abduct him once again, but they fail. He fights them off. Surprising because I figured, oh, well, maybe they're just going to convert him and this is a Dark Order situation all over again. But no, he gets fight off. He's like, yeah, man, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's going on around here? I'm from Mexico. Like, I don't put up with this BS, right? But he was very confused as to what the fuck was going on. And honestly, that parking lot is just dangerous if you're a wrestler.
That part I think is the work, but I'm talking about his actual in-ring work. I think that's just bullshit and that he's just trying to like throw you off the center that he's really the one in charge of all of it.
Yeah, so that's actually what I was saying.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
that's how
I believe that full-heartedly. I wasn't talking about the storyline part. That part was probably doper than the damn match he just did, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I got more out of Hijo de Fantasma in that one little like 2-minute segment that he did in the parking lot as opposed to his actual match with Jack Gallagher. I got more character development from him there.
He don't change after the match or nothing, right? Just go out there sweaty ass and all, jump in the ride, go home.
Hey, maybe he just got a I don't know, man. Maybe he got a text saying that, hey, come home quick, man.
Yeah, maybe I got a quickie for you. He got a mamacita at home.
Yeah, maybe.
Ready for the
but I definitely do think that part's of work. Like I think that he's just trying to throw people off the scent. That's really his shit. And I hope we get this Mexican mafia shit. I'm on it.
Yeah. So go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No. You go, man. Go.
Oh no, because I'm completely with you, Vince. Like as soon as he was outside, I knew something was up. Yeah. I knew something was up because number one, he was able to fend them off. It was 2 of them, and he was able to fend them off.
And no one else has.
And no one else has. Like I knew something was fishy off the back of that. So
yeah.
See, what I thought was they was gonna pull up on him, and he was just gonna get in the car. Like I didn't think they was gonna like jump out and like jump him or anything. I thought they were just gonna skirt through, pull up, open the door, and he just gets in the back seat and they take off. Like that's what I thought it was, to let you know that it really is him behind it. But I'm in on this one just to see where they go with it.
Yeah, me too. I think that's where my intrigue lies. after the match, I was like down on Phantasma. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm feeling it. I don't know. But now wholeheartedly believe that he's the one behind this. He's just putting on a face, putting up a front for this whole situation. He's actually the brains of the operation. He's like basically going to go ahead and turn Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde into heels, and he's gonna have his mass luchador mafia and just have his own like putty patrol and shit in the mobsters.
I will say this. It kind of gave it away last week when they showed the hype package for him. So it kind of gave it away already. So, but
it really
we'll
did,
see.
Because my thing is we only know those two guys. We don't know who the dudes abducting people are yet.
But I mean, it's kind of obvious though, with him doing that, and then all of a sudden he's just this good guy.
I'm not talking about him. I'm saying that we still don't know who the other two guys is. So this
I get what you're saying.
This potentially has to be five. Could be 5 people in this faction or whatever. We haven't had no shit like that in years. That's why I'm more hyped for it. Like more than 3 people. I'm in.
I think it's gonna be the 3 of them. Maybe a 4th, but they're gonna keep these masked like suit guys as, like I said, like the Putty Patrol and Power Rangers, or like the Creepers and Dark Order. That's what they're gonna be.
So it'll be 5, but it's 3 main people.
Yeah, it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 main. Yeah, it could be like maybe like 7 total, and just have like a bunch of like henchmen. And
that's what I think
need that. You need that. You need henchmen, just like kind of like J&J Security and Set Hat, kind of like that. So moving on to next week, we do have the match confirmed. Charlotte taking on Mia Yim. It's been made official. But also, earlier on the show, we had Demon Priest cut a promo, coming at Keith Lee, making himself more of a credible threat for that North American title picture, saying that Keith Lee's been ducking him, basically, and the match was made for next week. Keith Lee, Damian Priest, North American title, and that played into the main event, which was Keith Lee and Velveteen Dream taking on Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole. Man, early on in the match.
Looks like a coke dealer at a Miami club, bro.
Hey, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. It's a unique look.
Too, for sure.
He also has a habit and a knack of attacking people with that nightstick, because he came like early on in the match when the ref wasn't looking. He came and attacked Keith Lee to the throat twice.
That motherfucker pull out that Tanya Harding, boy. He perfected that, boy. That's just fire.
Yeah, exactly. And we go to commercials after that, and it gets turned into a handicap match for a second there. It was Velveteen Dream taking on the Undisputed Era. But out of nowhere, Dexter Lumis shows up and stands ringside, and he's like, we're over here like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And shit is fucked up when Byron Saxton is the voice of reason, saying like, how is this legal? How is this legal? Does no one follow rules around here?
Well, first, like, who was it? It was somebody on Twitter posted a picture of him, like, while that was going down. He was off to the side with the light on him. I was like, shit, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so earlier on in the segment, when Velveteen Dream was being jumped by Undisputed Era and Keith Lee came to make the save, as they were retreating, in the zoomed out picture, you can see Dexter Lumis in the background, just creeping, just with the spotlight, just creeping.
I love it.
I didn't even catch that.
No. I don't know if you saw the picture, but it should be in the group chat. Or no, I tagged RN. So like, just look at my tweets. Just go into my Twitter feed, and you can go ahead and check that shit out.
I'm so
you're gonna make me like, hey, let me see.
I'm so here for this dude. I'm sorry. I just am. Like, I don't know what it is about it. There's something about that creepy ass dude with that yellow light on him, it just gets me going.
Okay, that could be misconstrued, man.
Pause.
Yo. All right. So
wait, hold on. Give me a minute, bro. That shit was funny. All right. I'm good.
So Matt from the Smack and Raw podcast, No Relation, he said that his co-host Travis said that Dexter Lumis looks like Hitler created him in the lab somewhere. And honestly, I see it. Like, at first I'm like, wait.
Or if like Hitler made himself on WWE.
Oh, dude. But he can't be Hitler, man, because he's fighting for the good guys here. He's backing up Velveteen Dream. He came in and took the hot tag from Velveteen Dream. He came in and he was athletic as all hell. Out here doing like drop kicks.
Go back
like
and watch Bro, that man is lights out. Like, he just hasn't got enough opportunities. But even in the what was it, the Breakout Star tournament, bro? Like, he was doing work.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He
man.
definitely was.
He surprised the hell out of me today. This match, he surprised the hell out of me. I was like, yo, this is good. This is good. This is good stuff.
And here's the thing about this that they did well is that they had like two or three stories playing in this. You had Keith Lee being jumped by Damian Priest, setting up their match for next week. You have Velveteen Dream trying to overcome and get a title match against Adam Cole, and you have Dexter Lumis basically being a stand to the Undisputed Era's Eminem and just like stalking them, being obsessed with Undisputed Era for whatever reason. So towards the end of the match, again, this was very, very good. Strong showing for both Lumis and Velveteen Dream, but it was Dexter Lumis that gets the upper hand. Bobby Fish comes out, try to like even up the odds, maybe distract Lumis and get the upper hand back on Undisputed Era. But he wasn't supposed to be there. I think he was banned from ringside or something. I think I heard Byron say something on the lines.
Over the top that Lumis did, he fucked his shit up. He smacked his head.
Yeah. So he does go ahead and does like a flip plancha thing to take out both Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish.
He almost didn't get it off though.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I'm saying. He hit more of his head on the ring
on the apron. Yeah,
he actually hit them.
It was very risky. Hopefully the guy pulled out, but it was enough to get the momentum back on Velveteen Dream and his team's side. He goes and hits the Purple Rainmaker to Adam Cole, gets the victory, and commentators were saying that, well, how can you not justify Velveteen Dream having the title match and being in the title picture, being the number one contender, given that he just pinned the current champion? Right. And it definitely does look like they're going into that direction. I guess the one question I want to ask you guys is, what's going on with Kyle O'Reilly? Is he stuck in Canada, or what's going on?
No, he's injured. He's on the injured list.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. And with his diabetes, like they were saying that he because he's type 1, like you have to watch that stuff, like with the everything, because you use needles and shit and everything for your insulin and all that stuff. So that's another thing.
Yeah, he's high risk. So
yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. And honestly, you know what? I'm okay with it for the time being because it's putting more of a shine on Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish as a team, and it's a dynamic we haven't seen before. It's something different, and
Bobby Fish doesn't get enough credit for like how great he is.
He doesn't, man.
He's a legit shoot fighter. Like everything he does, like it looks believable. It looks like he really could kick your head off or snap your damn ankle or wrist or something like it. That's what I like about it. I dig it.
And I will say this: Tom Phillips said Adam Cole just pinned the NXT World Champion Adam Cole.
Yeah, he really botched that and he botched a bad call there. But overall, I thought the main event was solid. It wasn't the main event I thought we were going to get in Velveteen Dream versus Finn Balor. But if Dream does go into the title picture against Adam Cole, gets the title, and then Finn Balor finishes off his feud with Walter, we could see a title program down the line with Finn Balor challenging the current champion at that time, Velveteen Dream. I think that's an interesting way to go about it, man.
Solid.
Like I said, it was just them setting up stuff long term. So when all this shit is set and clear, like in October, November, all of a sudden they'll bring this back up.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Let me just check to make sure that we didn't have anything. Okay, so I just want to answer a quick question from Matt from the SmackDown podcast. No relation. He does want to ask me if the Hijo del Fantasma, if I'm still standing him, did he impress me enough for me to believe that he will still win the tournament? I don't think he might win the tournament because I think it's between him and Kushida. If he just stays as generic babyface luchador, I don't think he will win the tournament. I think it'll be Swerve and Kushida in the finals. But if he is really behind this Lucha Libre Mafia, whatever, then I think he will be the one in the finals, and that Mafia helps him get that victory or get to the finals at the very least. Yeah. But with that being said, that was tonight's episode of NXT. Let us know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Tweet us on Twitter at SmackRawPod, at Mr8984 for RN here. You can also check out his YouTube channel, Mean Jelly Bean Productions.
Hey.
There you go. I told you I got it. I got it. You can check out my boy Jay Thunder on Twitter at JThunder2009. You can find me at SCS Vince on Twitter. We love to talk wrestling, and RN man, he chimes in almost all the goddamn time. So if you want a good wrestling conversation, hit us up there. Again, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, give this episode a download if you're watching it via audio form. Watching us on YouTube, smack the thumbs up button, man. Come on, turn on the bell notification and subscribe.
Okay, look at me. Look at me. Thumbs up. Thank you.
There you go. Sorry, my camera's reversed. I was trying to point at.
Thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up. Yeah,
thumbs up this episode, guys. An odd number of times. Don't do it like 4 times because then you cancel your thumbs up. So you gotta make sure you got the numbers right. And we'll catch you guys next week for more NXT. We'll see what happens. And I guess that's it, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Later, y'all.
Deuces.